Murphy Tech Expert CEO. I'm welcoming you to my complete crash course in HTML and CSS. So, before you start this course, I want you to subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, so that you can be having some notification whenever I upload a new crash course for you. So, as a web developer expert, I'll be taking you in any latest that came out from the web, so that you also will get abreast to all latest developer tools in the web. So I have a crash course, complete HTML and CSS course for beginner. So I want you to watch this course. This course will embolden you to make you more enlightened to know how the web is being styled in the CSS world, while the HTML will also show you how to mark up your building block. So the course is just almost 3 hours course, 255 hours. So with this complete crash course for HTML and CSS course, you will learn how to style the web. You will learn how to put an image. You also learn how to make your web page responsive. So by using the median query to make your web page responsive. So you also learn what they call units of measurements, such as pixel, percentage, rem, m, and so on. So all depend on what you want to use it for. So I will teach you an HTML and CSS where you will understand the rudiments concerning the web design world. And don't forget, I will drop a link behind where you will learn complete PHP. I have a complete PHP course in Udemy Academy. So I'm an instructor in Udemy. I have a complete PHP course, backend language. So CSS and HTML is for the front end, but the PHP is for the backend. So when you learn how to use CSS and HTML, you also need a backend language like Python, Node.js. But I recommend PHP. Is easy to understand. It also depends on your own ideology on how to use the tools. So is opinion in nature. So your own opinion count in PHP. So when you understand the function, the tools in PHP, you can able to apply your own ideology in order to achieve what you want to implement in the backend. But the PHP course is about 17 hours in length. So if you subscribe to the PHP course, so I have a full course that when purchasing it, you have a good understanding of PHP, how PHP really function. So always subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you have the latest of all developer tools that just prompt up. So I'll be updating you. So don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will teach you more about graphic design. I will teach you about video editing, and also teach you about animation, which is After Effects. So many people want to learn how to use Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, After Effects, and Premiere Pro. So the After Effects is for the animation, the Premiere Pro is for the video editing, the Illustrator is for the graphic design, Photoshop is meant for picture manipulation, while the InDesign is meant for page layout. So You can lay out any booklet and anything you want to do. You can do it in InDesign, both for graphic. You can integrate the graphic and the photo manipulation together in order to accomplish what you desire, so you can meet the need of your client. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and also click this link so that it can take you to my PHP full course in Udemy, so that you can start learning how to design a web, so you become a complete web developer, not a web designer. So you have the front end idea and the back end idea also to start implementing. So I will also welcome you once again for learning this crash board. In this course, I'm going to be taking you on HTML and CSS. We'll take a look of a quick landing page. That's what we are going to be creating in this course. So, before starting this course, my name is Mr. Maf Mishebito Adeyemi, the CEO of Mafitech Expert. So, without further ado, so let's take a look of what we are going to create in this landing page course. So, you can see this is our index page. So I'm going to be creating 3-page course. So 3 pages site. So this is the home page. We have the gallery page. You can see the gallery page. This is the about page. So this is the 3-page website that we are going to be creating as the course proceed. So as you can see, this is our about page, the gallery page, and the home page. So without further ado, let's get our hands dirty as we code this beautiful website. So now let's minimize it. So let's create a folder called my landing page. So we have created a folder called my landing page. So let's open a folder with the code editor that we are going to be using in this course. So the code editor we are going to be using in this course is called Visual Studio Code. So I know you already have Visual Studio Code installed in your computer. So let's right click the Visual Studio Code and we'll open with code. So Visual Studio Code has already loaded. We can click yes, we trust the author. So you can see, get rid of this. So now we are going to start creating our skeletal HTML. So to do that, we are going to create a first file which is HTML index.html. So say index.html. So that file has been created already. So to create the skeletal setup of HTML, we have to type what they call doc. When you type doc, you press enter. So doc, enter. So if that doesn't work, you can use doc, then you use exclamation mark, then you press enter. So exclamation mark works, but docs also work. So we use exclamation mark to do that. The skeleton of HTML have already been set up. So without further ado, so let's start coding our HTML. So now, before proceeding, so let's set up our CSS. So click here, type main.css. So our CSS file has been created. So the next thing we are going to do now, so let's go to HTML and start setting up our navigation bar. Remember, this is what we'll be creating in this course. So let's go back to our code editor. So now the next thing we are going to do, we are going to create a div which will contain the navigation bar. So we now say div, then you press enter. So inside that div, we have a class called container fluid. Then under that container, we have a class called container. So Under that again, we now have a class called nav. So we have created this. Now this is our navigation. So inside this navigation we have two child inside navigation, which is the li list. Let's look at it. The two, this is our brand, and this is our navigator, which is the another list. So let's do that now. Let's create the skeleton. Then we now say div nav dash logo, which will contain the brand. Then the brand will now go with a icon called nav dash brand icon. Then this our icon for now we now say index.html. Then inside here we now put our brand. We call it Murphy Tech Expert. So this our brand under here. Then the next thing we are going to do, we now create another list. Then we now say nav list. Then create a child. It is a child called li with nav item. Then a child called nav link. So you can see we have created it. Remember, we have three navigation. We can now copy this and duplicate it. So save changes. So now let's view what we have already done. So let's create it here. Let's type home here. Then we have what we call gallery, and we now have the third one is vatos. Let's say vatos. And we save changes. So now I have live server installed inside my system. So if you want to have a live server installed in your system, you can just click at this icon. Then you now type live server. You can see, you click at it. I have it installed already. Then you click live server. You install. I cannot install because I've installed it already. Then you click live server. So this will automatic save changes. You don't have to refresh the browser. Automatic. Anything when you save changes, it will show on the browser at a fly. So let's get rid of this. So now click this our HTML now. Then we right click. We now say open with live server. So you can see what we have done now. My HTML skeleton page. That's why you can see our brand here and our navigator. So now, before proceeding, let's go to our CSS to set up our CSS. So in order not to waste any time, let's set up our CSS. So click the file here. So let's go to main.css. So let's create an universal selector. Then we now say margin 0, padding 0. So that's our universal selector. So universal selector, because we set the margin and the padding, we get rid of the margin spacing and the padding spacing in our HTML and CSS. So the next thing we are going to do now, because we want the page to be automatic in nature, so we are going to set the HTML, which is the basic font size. The basic font size of every browser is 16. The basic font size of every browser is 16. If you check your browser very well, you will see your font size is 16. So now we are going to reset it. And I say font size. This is how to reset it. You can say font size. So font size, we are going to reset it to 62.5%. So you may be surprising that how do we come up with this 62.5%. So if you want to know that, we said is 16 by default. So you will now say we want to use our font size, which is our every pixel will be represented by 10. So now if you take a look at it, now we have 16, which is by default because it's in percentage. Now we will now divide it by 10. So we want to change our default font size for 16 pixel to 10 pixel. So 16 pixel divided by 10, then it will give you 1.6. So you can see 1.6 that is divided by 10. So now you will now say 16 pixel, 16 pixel, now say 10 divided by 16 pixel. You can see 10 divided by 16 pixel. Now it will now be 0.625. 0.225. If you see this how you calculate, you will now say 10 divided by 16 pixel. But you will not put the pixel, punch it in your calculator. 10 divided by 16, it will give you 0.625. So in order to justify it in percentage, so you will now say it will be equal to, let me comment it here so that you see. So it will give you 0.625. This is what our calculator will give us. So to convert it to percentage, then you will now say, convert it, now put in bracket, you will now say 62.5%. So if you times it, it will give you your pixel back. So if you times it, will give you your pixel back. So if you look at it now, this is because we use 10 to divide it. 10 divided by 16 will give us this, which means our pixel now is no longer 16 pixel, it's now 10 pixel. So now this is how we arrive at that. So that every pixel that you are right will be represented by 10. So 1 pixel will be equal to 10. You understand? 1 pixel will be equal to 10 instead of 1 pixel will be 16. Your font size will be 16, I mean. So let's get rid of it. Remember, in units we have what we call rem and ron and ren. So ron is by default from the browser, which is 16. It's not related, it's related to the browser, while ren is related to the parent font size of the element. So now we'll be using ren, not en. So that's the unit we'll be using now. So we have set up that. So let's set up the body. So the body will use font family. The font family we'll use Vedana, Veniva. So this is the font family we'll be using. So we have line height. Let's set our line height. Our line height to 1.7. So let's set our background. Our background, we'll use radial gradients with RGB color of 255 and 255. So if you look at it, it will give us white. Then we say comma, now put another RGB. Then we now have what we call 171, 248. Then we have 248. So this is our eye background. Then next thing we do background repeat. So background repeat, then we say no repeat, no repeat. Then the next thing we say mean height, mean height, say 100 VH, like the view height. Then the next thing now say color, our color will be RGB, our color will be say RGB. Then we now set it to say 65, 63 and 63. So let's take a look of what we have done so far. So remember, before we can do that, we have to link the main CSS to our HTML. So let's go and link it now. So let's go to the top. So this is where we link it to the head. Type link, you can see link CSS. Then what we have is called main.css. And save changes. Let's go to our browser. You can see the gradient we have created, which is the radial gradient. You can see, let's check it here. You can see the gradient with the radial gradient. So you can see it has beautified our web page. So let's take a look of what we are creating. So let me open what we are creating. I've closed it. So let me open it so that you see what we are creating in this course. So you can see, compare with what we have, you can see. So you can see, so you can check the font size now. It's in 10 pixels now. You can see they have reduced in size. So if I go to main CSS now and I comment the HTML, it will change to 16. So the font size will enlarge now. You can see it has enlarged. Remember, we'll get rid of the header, the margin and the padding. You can see that's why it's aligned to the page. So let's go back. Let's uncomment the HTML. So let's go back and see. You can see it has reduced. So now let's go back to our index.html and start coding what we have learned. So remember, we created a container fluid. So this is our container fluid. So let's go to CSS now. So now say header here. Let's comment it. Header here. So we now say container fluid. So the container fluid, we say mean weight. So mean weight, what we are going to use for the mean weight, we now say is 100%. Then we now say background. Our background will be RGB. We have 57. We have 237. Then we'll use 250. Then that is our background. So the next thing we will say border bottom. So border bottom. So our border bottom now, we now say one rem. One rem is equal to 10 pixels solid. Then we will now say RGB. So RGB we use white, which is 255. So save changes. So let's view what we got so far. So it's there. So that is our container fluid. So let's create our, you can see this container fluid. Okay, this I have spelling error here. Fluid, container fluid. So that's, I have error there. So let's do it. You can see can see our navigation bar have appeared with border button. You can see the border here, which is the white we created here, which is the white we created the border button. So let's view it again. That's our navigation. So now let's go back to our code editor now. So the next we are going to create now, we're creating the container. So we now say container, create a container. You can see the next thing we have here is container. Ensure you name your class appropriately. So container, this is our container. So the container here we have what we call mass width. Mass width. Mass width we say 100%. Then we now say background. Okay, don't need background. Margin we say 0 or 2. So I will say the container now we have what we call mass width 100%. So the mass width cannot be 100%. So you can see this 100%, the container already, the container field is 100%. So we want to I make it, so let's check it. You can see it's not up to the left align and the right align side. You can see where it is here. So we want to reduce the width. So let's go back, change from 100%. Let's specify the width we are going to use. We are going to use 120 rem. That is 1200 by the width. So save changes. So you can view it. So by now save changes. Now it's a container. This is our container now. So auto. So let's view it here. So I will call container. So there's nothing inside. So let's save changes. Let's save changes and view it again. You can see it's no longer at the left align, and it has shifted to the middle. So now the next thing we are going to be doing now, so we are going to start setting up our nav now. So let's start setting up the nav. So let's go to our CSS. So let's start setting up the nav. Now say container dash nav. So if we want to, why we do that, let's view it. You can see nav. The nav contains the brand, the nav logo, the brand, and which is nav list also. So let's go back and go back to our CSS. So let's check our CSS now. This is our nav. So the next thing we are going to do now, we will now say padding. Let's put padding first, 2.5 rem, 2.5 rem, and that is top and bottom, and left and right is 0. So next we are going to do now, we are going to display it. I told you we are using flares. So flares, we are not using float. Float is outdated. So we have flares it. You can see the Murphy, Tech Expert, and the Home, they have been flares now. So they are now in the float level. So you can see we have flares it, and here we can now say flares wrap. You can say wrap. So that is it. So let's view it again. Let's see what we got. You can see now. So the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to take a look of the Nav logo. So we have Nav logo and Nav brand. So let's go and style that. So let's take a look of it. Now say container dot nav dot, and I say nav logo dot nav brand. So let's check it. You can see container, we have Nav logo, and we have Nav brand. Nav brand. So let's go. Click save changes. So let's start it now. And say test transform. Test transform. We use the word uppercase. Uppercase. Then we say letter spacing. And say .5 well. Then we say color. Use white. Then color we use white. Then the next thing we're going to font size. We use 2n, which is equal to 20. Then because one will now represent 10 pixels. So then the next thing we're going to do cursor pointer. So let's do what we got now. Done so far. So you can see, refresh, the style is not implementing. So let's take a look why the style is not implementing. So you can see here we now say Nav logo and Nav brand. So let's go and take a look of it in our HTML. So Nav logo, you can see Nav log. So ensure your class name is properly typed. If not, you will not see the effect in the browser. So let's save changes now. So let's view it now. So you can see it has been affected. You can see it in the screen now. So it has been affected. You can see the letter spacing and the font color, which is white. So without further ado, let's proceed. So now we are the next thing we're going to be styling now. We are going to style the, let's take our CSS now. We are going to style the link. Yes, if you check it and you can see the nav brand have underline. So we're going to remove the underline now. So let's get to our code editor now. So this is our code editor. So let's do that now. We say the next thing I'm going to do now, say container dot nav logo dot nav brand of nav brand. Then we now get the link. So the link will now start it and I say to look at it now. We have margin. Let's put margin. So the margin, let's use margin top. We put 3 rel. Then the next thing we are going to say text decoration. So we are getting rid of the underline, which is the decoration. Underline text decoration. We say no. So then the next thing we say padding left. So let's put 3 rel. So let's view what we have gotten so far. You can see I've got rid of the text decoration, which is the underline. So let's do the another list, which is the nav list now. So let's go there. So the nav list. So the nav list. So let's do that now. So now say container dot nav list. So say padding 0, this is top and bottom, and 2 left and right. So the next one we are going to do now, we have the font size. Then the font size is 1 point. Let's say 1.1 rem. Font size 1.1 rem. So let's do it. You can see guys. So let's increase the RAM. Let's see 2 RAM. Let's do it again. You can see 2 RAM. So we have done the nav list. So let's go to the nav item container nav list nav as item. So you've been wondering how do we got all this. So let's do it now. You can see nav list, nav item, and nav link. So let's go to our code editor now. Go to here. So I've done that. So get rid of this. So nav list. Then the next thing we're going to do now, so we say text decoration. Say no, set it to no. Then we say font size. We use 3 rem. Then color white. Font weight. Then we use 2 rem. Then we now say transition. So let's leave some transition first. We'll come back for that. You can see. So now before we proceed now to the link, because the link, that is where we will remove the decoration. That is where we remove the text decoration. So let's go back now. So okay, let's remove decoration. Okay, so here now you can just come to this place. This is the item. You can just see. Let's go back here. And we now say container. Remember, it's in container. Nav list. Nav link. So nav link. Then the nav link now. What we can do now, we can just save text decoration. You can see text decoration. See no, set it to no. So that is the text decoration. Set it to no. So let's view what we have gotten so far. Nav link. Okay, link here. You can see you have get rid of it. So let's go to how to get rid of the bulletin. That is the bulletin, which is the on order list. So let's go to the list. The list is the list. Let's get rid of that bullet, which is I'm going to use list style. Set it to no. So there are so many attributes. You can use square. So if you look at it, you see square. So you can change it to circle. So if you view it, you can see circle. So now let's set it to no. So that you get rid of that. You can see it's at work now. So let's go back to our code. So let's change the font size to 2. Let's view it. Good. It's at work now. So we have gotten that. So the next thing we are going to do now, about the link and the container now. So we are going to are going to ensure that the width here, from the nav, which is the navigator, and ensure that the spread across across the screen. So let's go back. Let's go to the navigator, the main current, which is the, the nav. This is the nav. You can say justify content. You can see space between. So you can see justify content space between. You can see it has spread that. It has spread that. Then let's go to the nav now. Container nav justify. So we now go to the let me show you something. You can see the nav has spread. Now go to nav list now and flex it again. So let's go to the nav list. Let's go to the nav list. I have nav list. Then you can say display flex. So let's view it. You can see that's flex that. So you can now see you can now put under the list here. You can now see margin left. You can see two way. So let's view it. Okay, we put the margin left at the link. So that you can see now. You can see it's working very perfectly. So let's view what we got. You can see. So let's change the link color now. The link color to white. Color white. So let's view it. This is our link. So set the color to white. Container nav list, and nav link. So suppose change it to white. So let's get the link direct. So let's put the word important. So let's check the specificity, because specificity is very important when you are coding. So container list, we have nav link. So color, so the color should be white. So let's check the specificity now. Let's click here. Color white. You can see, yes. That is why I told you about specificity. So the color is white. We are up and running. So the next thing we are going to look, let's take overview. You can see the over state of it. So let's go to the link over state. So let's click here, duplicate, and now change it from link to over. So you can change the background color. You can change the background color to pink. You can change to pink. So let's view it. You can see, okay, this is what we have done. So let's go back. You can see it has changed, but let's make it seamless. So let's make it seamless. So we have to go to the parent document, parent document, which is here. The parent document can now say transition or type or 0.5, which is the 500, so now say timing function is at transition timing function, that's transition duration. Then now you can see it's seamless now. You can see it's seamless. So it's seamless now. So we have, as you can view, let's check it out. We have done with our nav bar. We have done with our nav bar so far. So the next thing we'll be looking at now is the body. Is the body, container section body. So this is what we'll be looking at now, this particular body. So let's go to the code editor and create this body. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's go to the body now. So HTML, then you can make a comment here. So you can say navigation ends here. So let's create another section now, which is section now. Create the section here. And say container. Inside the container now, we'll create another one called wrapper. Then we'll now create another one called content. So inside this content now, we'll have what we call the title. Let's take a look of it. You can see the title. Then after the title, we now have this checkbox and the text. So let's have that done now inside content. So now say let's say heading. So inside the heading, let me just use the appropriate H1. H1. Then let's type the heading. We call it visualize and achieve your passion. So let's do it. You can see visualize and achieve your passion. So the next thing we are going to do now, we'll go down. This is the content. We'll go down. Then we are going to create what we call wrapper icon. So the wrapper icon. Then inside the wrapper icon, we're going to have what we call font awesome. So we don't have it here now. Font awesome. So we don't have it here now. So inside the font awesome, then we now have what we call paragraph with a class of paragraph. Class of paragraph. Then say Lorem Gibson 15. Press enter. So let's do what we have done so far. You can see this is what we have done so far. You can see the fourth awesome is not there. So let's go and get the fourth awesome. So we have to link the fourth awesome. I have to link fourth awesome into our page. So let's go. Let's click browser here. So let's click fourth awesome CDN. So I want to get the link of fourth awesome CDN so that we can link it direct. So let's click here and see if I get the link, fourth awesome link, the CDN link. So let's click it and see. So if we can get the direct link to fourth awesome site. So let's go down and see if we can get the link of fourth awesome. So let's go back and get the link here. Let's go back. So let's click here. So let's go down. The CDN of fourth awesome. That's what we are looking at. So if you look at this list, you see fourth awesome. So let's go down. You can download it, but you want to use the CDN. We are not using the raw file. So we are using the link. So when we use the link, automatically it will appear in our page. So let's go. I think there will be here. Yes. So you can see the link here. So let's copy the link here. Here's the link. Let's copy it. Let's copy it. Go to our code editor. So let's go to the top here. Let's go to the top here. Paste it. So I'm using fourth awesome 5 version 5.10. So let's view our browser now and see if fourth awesome have been initiated. You can see check. Fourth awesome has been initiated. So that is how you add an icon to your site. So you can see the check has already been there. So let's go back to our code editor. So and replicate what we are doing. So let me set things right here. So the next thing I'm going to do, you can see this is our fourth awesome. So here now we are going to replicate it to 3, 2, 3. So let's view it. You can see it's in twofold now. So you can take a look at, we have the wrapper icon and the wrapper icon. So now let's go and start the CSS. Okay, before the CSS, we have the image. So let's set up, I think, the form feed, the form. Okay, before we start, let's set up the form. Let's set up the form. So we are done with this. So let's check here our content stats. This is our content. This is our content. Then we have the wrapper. Let's check the wrapper. That's there. Okay, good. So use the wrapper. Good. The wrapper started. Then we now see our form start here. So our form start here. Save changes. So let's start creating our form. Then the next thing we will do now, we create a div. A class called form. Inside the class called form, we have what we call h1. The h1 will now say, please register your details. Yeah. So register your detail here. Then proceed. Then we now have what we call let's create a span. Let's create a span. Under that span, then we now have issue that is underlined. You can see underline. So let's view what we have done. This underline. So this is what we have done so far now. Then let's proceed and create our form now. Then come on to the Nancy form. You can see the action is going on where we put acts. Then the next thing we are going to do now, we will now create a div called form group. A class of form group. Inside that form group, we have an input with a class of form control. So then text, have a place holder, put the name of that place holder. We now call it saw name. So that is our place holder. So this is our form now. So the next thing we're going to do is duplicate it. Then we can change this place holder now to other name. Duplicate it. Then the next one we'll call it, change the type, the form type to email. Then place holder to enter email. Then let's go down the last one. Let's go this. Then we call it password. You can see password. Then see enter password. Enter password. Then for paste it. Then see put password again. The type, data type. That's called data type now. Place holder and say confirm password. So the last but not the least. So go down. Then we just see button. Then under the button put type. Type attribute, call it submit. Then I have a class of btn and btn group. Then the value and I see submit. So let's view what we have done so far. CSS. So let's start styling. See, we now say body styling. Yeah. So let's comment it. Body styling here. So let's start styling now. We now say wrapper. We now say display flex. So let's take a look so that we know what we are doing. You can see the wrapper. The wrapper contains the checkbox and the form. So let's do it now. You can see they have flex art. So let's go to the text box. Let's put a margin top. Padding. Let's use the word padding. Padding top. Let's say 15 ren. 15 ren. That's 150 pixel. And 15 ren. Then let's use the word gap. Let's use the word gap. So gap is 3 gap. Let's use 3 ren. So let's do it. You can see that space from the top now. So now next thing we are going to do, so let's get the content first. See wrapper content let's see flex flex 3 and see what will happen. Let's do it. You can see that's take over the most of the weight. So if we put background color now, so that you see what that flex 3 does. Color red. So let's do it. You can see that's taking the large space of the screen. So that's why we use flex. We use the word flex 1. So it will still take the large space. So now we'll go to wrapper and see form. Remember, come to here, you see form, which is the same child of the wrapper. So we see flex 1 also, so that they will take equal width of the screen. You can see they have taken equal width of the screen, so we can get rid of the background here. So this is how it's being done. So we have styled the child of the wrapper. So let's start styling the fourth the form. Let's start with the form. Then we start the form. We still start the icon. So next thing we are going to do now, let's start the icon. So next thing, let's go to here and I see wrapper as icon. So display flex. Then the next thing we'll do is padding 2 ren top and 3 ren left and right. So set the width to 90%. So let's do it. You can see that's flex art. So let's put gap between them. Gap as a 3 ren. So let's do it. You can see that's flex art has the gap. So the next thing we are going to do, let's tie the header. let's do it now. Let's go to the top. Because we have heading, heading there. Then let's see heading. So text transform, text transform, text transform, uppercase. So let's do it. You can see text transform uppercase. Text transform uppercase. Text transform the text to uppercase. So the heading now, I've done with the heading. So you can say font size. Font size. Let's use 2. Let's use margin bottom. So let's view what we have gotten so far. So let's do what our template. This is our template. Okay. So let's go back. That's what we have gotten so far. So we have styled the header. So let's go to the icon, the wrapper icon. So this is the wrapper icon. You can see the wrapper icon will put padding left. So let's change it to, let's change these two. Let's change here to 0. And see, view it again. Good. Here to 0. So padding. So let's view it again. Cool. Like right position. So let's style the icon now, the fourth awesome icon. So you can just come to this place. I see wrapper icon, wrapper icon. I see wrapper icon. I see FE check. I see FA check. Check. I see color. I see the sign 00 with ED6. Let's take a look at this color. So let's view it. You can see that is the color. So let's change it to background. Let's use background. Let's use it as a background. Then let's now use color white. Let's use it now. Cool. You can see it's working. And let's say border radius. Border radius. Border radius. Let's use 2. Let's view it. Okay. Border radius is 0.5. Let's see. 1. Too much. So let's say 0.3. That's our border radius. And let's say padding. Let's say we use 2.5 well. That's our padding. Cool. It's too big. So let's use 0.5 well. That's our padding. Cool. I think our hubs are running now. So let's increase the font. Let's take the, I think we have what we call let's check under the icon wrapper. Then we have called paragraph. Okay, and now see dot wrapper icon wrapper font size. Let's use 0.5.4. So let's do cool. Think we are ups and running. So let's take a look of the form. So we have, let's read the form. We are in the same level. So let's view what you can see. So the next thing we are going to be doing now, we start creating the form feed. So let's go to the form feed. So this is the form, this is our form. So we have form, class of form, and each one. So let's create the form now. Let's go down to the form. This is the form. Then we now see wrapper dot form h1 text transform uppercase. So let's read. You can see the form I've transformed uppercase. So the form has transformed uppercase. So let's check the underline rule. So let's check the underline rule. You can see the underline rule. Let's change the width of the underline rule. So do we have what we call class to it? So we have class. Let's give it a class name. So let's see page. Let's call it page data. So let's see form page data. Save it. Let's see 60%. The rate is 60%. So the underline rule. So page header, let's take a look of it. It's page header form. Then we now have class of page header. Okay, let's use specificity. Wrapper. So let's change the page header now. Let's see mass width. Change the mass width. So mass width. So let's just underline the text directly. Okay, let's change it here. Form. We have not done that. Okay, this one form. Okay, let's go to the page header. Let's change it and put it here. So get rid of the span. Page header. So let's read it. Okay, good. So now let's change the page header here. See text decoration underline. See underline. that, you can change it. You can see border, bottom, see one solid black. You can see, change it to point 6. It's too thick. 6.4. Good, I think it's okay. You can now see display inline lock. Cool. I think then we'll now see padding button. Can see it red. Cool. Okay, let's make it same with shape brush. So I say put 5 rem here, 5 rem. Okay, let's increase it now to 6 rem. Cool, 6 rem. So let's go to our form group, start styling to see form group. So I'm going to start styling our form group now. So let's start with form group. So let's start with the form group. The form group, we say margin. Let's see margin top, margin top 2 rem. That's our form group. Then let's start with the form control. So font size, our form control, say 2.5 rem. I see it 100%. Then we have what called border radius. We give it 0.7 rem. Then the next we have border now. Then the next thing we have box shadow. We call it 0.3 rem. 0.3 rem. About 2 rem. Then the last one, which is the blurriness, 6 rem. And the color black. Cool. You can see this is our boss shadow. So these are boss. So let's check it again. See border, no. Font control, font size, these are font size. Now say line. So you can also see line height. And let's see 2. Okay. So let's take a look of what I've done. You can see this. Okay. Let's go back. So let's get rid of the line height. Let's see padding. So padding will be 1 rem top, bottom, and the width will be 2 rem. So let's read. Cool. You can see this is our form. So let's add one to the checkbox so that they will align. Let's read. Cool. So padding at the top now at the CSS. So let's remove that padding. It's too much from our form. This is our form. This is our form. This is our form heading. Padding bottom, the heading. Let's change it to 3, 2. Okay. Go ahead. We are up and running now. So let's create our button. So let's reduce the content padding. I think it's too much. The wrapper. Padding top is too much. Let's change it to 9. So let's put our button now. So the next thing we'll be doing now is button. So let's create the button. Let's go down. It's a BTN group. That is our class name. The class name that we use. BTN group. Then we'll now see cursor, pointer. Then we now see text transform, uppercase. Then we say width 100%. Then we talk about border radius. Border radius use 0.7. Then we say box shadow. Box shadow. Box shadow say 0.3 rel. 0.3 rel. 0.2 rel. The blurriness 6 rel. The color. Then we say padding. Padding say 1.5 rem top and bottom, and 2 rem left and right. Then the next thing we'll be doing is the font width. Font width. The font width is put border. Then I see font size. Our font size will be 2 rem. Then the next we see margin bottom. The margin at the bottom we use 10 rem. Then let's read. So this is our button. So this is our button. You can now see margin top. So margin top can use 2 rem. Let's read. Let's see 2 rem. That's our button. So you can centralize it. So want to centralize it. So let's do it. You can see our button. This is our button. Okay, btn group. So for us to centralize it, let's create a class of btn group here. So we can now copy our button and paste inside. Let's get rid of this now. So let's go to our text, change. Can change here now to btn. So you can now see btn group. Now see width 100%. Now see margin 0 out. Let's width. Let's align. Center. So let's take a look of it. btn. btn group. So let's do it. This is our button. It doesn't go anywhere. So we have created our button. So we are going to, let me check with the reason why it's not aligning at the center. So margin top, margin bottom. So let's say let's use the word here. Let's align. Let's check this and see. Let's align center. See if this will work. If it doesn't work, then we now get rid of it. Now say margin. Use the word margin left. Now see one. Let's do it. Okay. So let's look at 3, right? Let's do it again. So let's use 5. 5 will be appropriate. 5 is not appropriate. 7. 8. Cool. 8 is cool. So we use 8. So let's get rid of this. It is cool. So let's before we close it. So let's do the before we close it. We'll be creating the overstage of our button, and at the same time we'll create the footer. So let's get started. So now let's go to our code editor. So now say .btn overstate. Then now see the color, what color do we want. And now see background. Background we use hash 008ED6. Then that's the overstage. So let's do it. You can see. So let's create the seamless transition. So transition, come to the parent document. Maximum points 5 seconds. Easy. this timing function. This is at. So let's view it. You can see the seamless of it. You can see seamless of it. So let's go to our form group, and I think form control. Go to form control, form control, focus stage. So our form control, let's remove the outline. Outline should be none. Border, border, focus stage, we put a border, nothing too well. Let's see, one ring, solid. Let's use a green yellow color. So let's take a look at it. You can see to build. So let's reduce it, change it to point 2. Let's view it. You can see focus stage change. When you can focus, so I think we have done with this. So let's take a look of the footer. So let's tie the footer now. So let's view our footer. This is our footer. So let's go to footer. Then the section, say footer. So the footer now, let's create a div of footer, and let's create a span of copyright, copyright 2021. So let's read. You see copyright reserved 2021. So let me put copyright reserve 2020, copyright reserve 2021. So let's view it. So you can see it at the bottom here. So let's tie that now into our name. Let's see footer start here. That starts here. And see footer. I see BG. So let's include the container here first. Let's include our container here. Container. So we can copy our footer now. Paste it inside. So let's do that. Go back. So footer now, you can see font size. Let's hit 2. Let's read. Take this, align center. So let's do that and see. I'm showing the font size too much. So Cool. See background color is black. Then I see color see white. So let's do it. Cool. You can see, but our footer color should span the full width of the page. So let's go back. Let's go back and put our footer out of this. Let the container be inside. Let the container be inside. So let's read. Get rid of it. That's our container now. So let's read. You can see it's working. So we can now add to our padding. That's a two-way, left and right. You can see this is our. You can look at it and take a look of what we just coded. Is what we just coded now. So this is our footer. This is, let's change the footer. Let's add something. Cursor pointer. So this is what we have just done. I think we have just concluded our landing page. So let's change the color of this button to white. So cool. So we have just completed our landing page. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is we are going to be going to our gallery page. This is our gallery page. This is our gallery page. So then we now do about page 2. We have done with our. So let's create the file for gallery. Click here, type gallery.html. So this is our gallery page. So let's copy everything from here. So before that, let's amend something from our footer. So let's go to the main CSS. Let's amend the footer. So let's make the footer stick to the bottom. Let's make the footer stick to the bottom. So let's create footer. So here we say let's view it. So look at our footer. This is our footer. This is the child footer. So let's make the parent footer relative to the child. So footer position relative. So then here we now say position absolute, top, bottom, 0, left 0. So let's view it, see what we got. You can see it has collapsed. So but we have to put position here. Instead of absolute, we change the position to fix because we want it to fix at the bottom. So let's view it now. You can see it's fixed, but it has collapsed to the content. So we have to specify the width. So let's go. Let's change the width. Say width 100 view width. So let's view it. You can see yes, that stick to the bottom now. So that is how to solve that problem. So that's how to solve that problem. So now let's go to our text editor. Let's copy the index. Right or copy, go to index, and we paste. Let's paste it here. So we can get rid of all the section, and we leave the header alone. So footer and header. So here now you can say gallery.html. Here we say index.html, and here we now say about.html. We have not created that page yet. So save changes. Let's go to index and do same. Index.html, gallery.html, about.html. So now let's go to our gallery. So let's do our gallery markup. So say galleries, yeah, gallery start, yeah. Then let's create a section here. So inside that section now create a parent, create a class parent, call it parent. So a child. So let's look at our image. How many image we have? We have 9 image. So we are going to use the 9 image. So 3 per grid. So let's create an image tag now. Now say give a div contain let's use a div, a class of img1. Now say child of img dot with a class of img. Good. So I've created that div. So remember we have 9 of it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. So we can start changing it. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. So the last one is 1. So we have created. So let's view it in our web browser. So let's click our gallery. So there's nothing to display. So let's start inputting our image. IMGs 1. So let's view it and see. You can see occupy the full width. So let's go back. Let's just copy here to ensure that we have the appropriate image. 2. Paste it here, change here to 3. Paste inside the source, change it to 4. Paste it inside the source, change it to 5. According to the image, this is, so let us know. Okay, this is image 1. Paste it here. This image 1. This should be image 2. Image 3. Image 4. Image 5. Image 6. Image 7. Image 7. Paste it here. Here should be image 8. Paste it here. So now here should be image 9. So let's view what we have gotten so far. You can see all the image have occupied 100% of the screen width. So we're going to start styling it now. So we're going to start styling it now. You can see every image has its own class. So now let's start styling. CSS, we are going to use grid, CSS grid here. So let's start styling. So we have parent. So we now say display grid. So then now say grid template, template areas. So let's drop it. So grid template area. So let's specify. Call it img1, img2, img3. Drop it. img4, img5, img6. Drop it. img7, img8, img9. So we have specified all our grids now. So we can go down and start our class of our class of. So let's take a look of it. So let's take a look at our gallery. You can see after parent we have img1, img2, img3 as the grid. So img1. So let's copy and paste. now let's start not wasting time. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Save changes. So now we'll now say grid area. I will now say img1, img2, img3. So let's view what we have gotten so far and see what is displaying. So let's change. Let's tidy the img himself, class of img, width, change the width to 100% of its parent element. So let's view what we have gotten so far. You can see 100%. Yes, you can see it has taken the 100% of its parent element. So let's specify the height. Let's use 41. See now height and the weight. So let's get rid of the padding and the margin. Okay, this is done. So let's go to the individual div. Let's say parent direct child, all the child elements. Select it as a margin 0, padding 0. So for doing that, let's go to our gallery and ensure that it's inside a container. So that's cool. Inside a container. So let's go. So now let's go and ensure we specify grid template columns. Now say create template colon should be repeat theory one fraction. Create theory one fraction for all. Cool. Six. You are getting it. Create theory one fraction for all. So we're getting our gallery now. Our gallery is set. So let's set the padding for the parent. Padding 3 right and 0 left and right. Cool. Nice. This is our gallery. So let's put a little gap from the gallery. I think I prefer a gap. Gap one way. Cool. The gap now between the gallery. This is our gallery now. So they have margin bottom from the parent elements. Margin bottom. Let's put for several I think it's okay now. So this is our gallery page. This is the home page. This is the gallery page. So this is our gallery page. We have used the grid, the CSS grid, to do our gallery page now. So in the next lesson, we'll be taking look of the about us page. Then after we will round up with course. Then we will start doing what we call median query. So for a responsive website. So in the next section now we'll be talking about us page. So we're creating our about us page now. So let's go to our text editor. So let's create about us document. Now say about .html. So let's do what we did to gallery. Let's just copy everything here and go to about us page, paste it. Then let's get rid of the parent element, which is about the gallery. So leave the footer. I will now say about us. Then let's get rid of it. Then we are going to use the flex here. Since we use the grid, so we are going to use the flex here. Then we now say parent. Use the word parent here. Parent. Then we scroll down. We are having two columns here. The first one is content. While the second child is image. under the image now we can have img. So we can have image. So let's view what we are about to create. So this is what we are about to create. So let's go down. We will use lower MC or use lorem to get our content here. Inside the content here, let's have our h2. Then we'll now say, let's take a look of what we have. Say, let's just copy the text. Let's copy the text. Paste it there. Okay, then copy. Let's copy the text there. Paste it. So yeah, now paragraph. Just say Lorem. I use 20. So let's view what we got. So let's click about us. Cool. This is what we have. So let's go back. So let's undo and say Lorem 150. Cool. Then let's put all inside a container. Remember, a container constrained to the center of the page. So let's do it now. See, that's constrain it. So the next thing we'll be doing now is the image. For the image, so let's just take any image, img. So let's just take any image. To do that, so let's do it. img 4. Cool. Let's do it. You can see let's take over everything. So now let's flex it. So we are using flex. Let's use flex to do that. So let's put comment here. So galleries style. Then here we now say about us style. About us style. It's about us style. Then we now say parent. So let's use on the about or the parent of this about us page so that there will not be confliction. Let's use the word about to avoid confliction. Let's use it already. About display flex, because we are using flex. So let's view it now. So you have to save display flex. So let's go to image. So let's check what we name it as. We have what we call content and image. Image, say flex 1. Then we have what called content flex 1. Then the parent, we can now give it a gap of 3 rem. So now let's view it. Image flex, content flex. So let's view it very well. It's not reflecting, so let's see. Image, and we have content. So let's use a class again of the image to get it to 100%. Image img with 100%. Cool. Yes, it's working now. So let's go to the padding for this is the padding at work now. Padding is working now. So let's do border radius for the image. Border radius 3 rem. So let's do it. See, okay, too much. Let's use 1.5 rem. So let's go to content. Content font size 3 rem. Okay, content, let's say 1.5 rem. Content 1.5 rem. Let's use 1 rem. I think 1 rem will be appropriate. 1 rem is too small. 1.3 rem. 1.4. 1.33. Cool. So this is the Battles page here. So let's go to graph content h2 font size. You can change it to 2 rem. Okay, 0.5. Let's use 0.5. 0.5 rem. 0.7 rem. So let's say it's appropriate now. Then you can now say margin bottom one rem. Button one rem. So it's our gallery page. So let's do the over stage of our image. Image img over transform scale 29 transition all 0.5 seconds is inert. So is inert, you can see. So let's put border color. There's no need of border color. Cursor pointer at the over stage. Cursor should be pointer. Cool. So let's justify the content. Text transform text align justify text align justify. Cool. So this is, we have done with the styling. Now this is our home page, this is our gallery, this is our about. So we have done with the designing of the page. So you can see the home page, the gallery page, and the about us page. So this is the page we've just created. So the next thing we'll be doing is to make the site responsive to device. So that is what we'll be doing now. So thank you. Created our home page, our gallery page, and about us page. So let's get our hands dirty and start creating our page to be responsive to devices. So let's go to our code editor. So let's start with our index page. So let's view our index page now. So let's start with the median query. So let's go to our CSS. So let's start with the header, which is the nav bar. So this is the nav bar here. So let's start with the nav bar. We say at medium mass width. So mass width, which is 900 pixel. So 900 pixel, to calculate 900 pixel in rem. So let's use rem to calculate it. So we now say 900 divided by 16, which will give us 56.25, which is 900 pixel, because a pixel, 1 pixel is equal to 16. So now say 9 divided by 16, 900 divided by 16, so which is in rem, which is in em. So 900 pixel divided by 16. 100 pixel divided by 16. So equal to, so let's comment it. Let's comment it. Let's comment it. So 900 pixel divided by, so let's put the comment here so that you can see what we are doing. So when you divide 900 divided by 16 pixel, we have 56.25 em. So we use em units of measurement. So then if you look at it, let's right click our browser and click inspect. So on the inspect now, let's take the device toggle bar. So device toggle bar here, this is the device toggle bar. Let's resize it. You can see it is showing at 900. You can see what will happen at 900. This is 900 now. This is 900 here. So this is 900. Let's click here. You can see this is 900. You can see how it look like now. It's okay. So at 900 below, we want to make it stack. We want to make it stack. So the form will be under the visualize and achieve your passion. So at 900 below, which is the mean width. So now what will happen? So we are doing okay. We are first of all we stack the logo and the navigator. So let's do that. So we now select container dash nav and I say display flares, now say flares direction color. So let's take a look at what we got. You can see it has stack. It has stack at 900. You can see it 900. It has stack. So now if we move below 900, you can see it has stack. So let's go and do more. So now say justify content. Justify content center. Align item center and see what we got. You can see they have centralized now. So this below, we have done with the navigator. If you look at it, always remain center. So now let's go to at 600. If the width is at 600, the font 600 below, the font should reduce. So now you can still come. So we are doing the medium query now. So let's copy the medium. Let's copy the median query center. Let's copy the median query. So here you can change it. Let's change here, remove the pixel, change it to 56.25 em. So here now, we now divide 600 divided by 16 to give 37.5 em. 37.5 em. Yeah. So 600, then you now put 600 here, then give 37.5. So at 600, so let's get rid of this. So let's just say font size. Let's change the font size to 1 rem. So let's take a look of it. 1 rem. Still maintain. Let's change it to 1.5 em. 5 rem. Check it out. Still the font size. So let's target the font size, which is the Nav logo. Nav logo. Okay. Let's check it out. Nav logo. It's called Nav logo, or use Nav brand. So let's use Nav brand. Nav brand. So Nav brand dot nav so let's check it out. Check it out. Nav logo, Nav brand, Nav logo, Nav brand. So nav dot nav logo dot nav brand. Cool. You can see it has reduced drastically. So let's change it to 1.1 now. So let's check it out again. You can see that's reduced. So remember, talk about specificity. Always ensure you use your specificity to ensure that you get everything accurately. So now let's copy here and do the nav item. Okay, let's say nav link nav item. So let's check it so that we know that we are doing the right thing. We have nav item, nav link, nav list. So nav list, nav item, nav list. So font size, so we still use 1 rem. Save changes. Let's do it. You can see it reduced drastically. So let's use 1.5 rem. Save changes. So I think 1.5 will be realistic for both the brand. Yes. So we are done with, so let's resize it. You can see it's responsive. You can see it's responsive to device. You can see it's responsive to device. It's responsive to device. So now let's deal with the, let's go straight and do the, let's read our index again. We are done with the nav, so let's deal with the container, which is the content, visualization, and the form, which is inside the content, which is inside the content wrapper. So which is inside wrapper. So let's go to the wrapper. This is the wrapper. This is the wrapper here. So without further ado, let's go back to the first one so that we do not duplicate things. So let's copy here. Let's go straight to the wrapper. Let's put it here, paste it here. Then we now say container wrapper. So container wrapper, save changes. So let's view it and see what we got. So container wrapper, I think there's an S. Let's view it. Container wrapper. Have wrapper. Okay, there's no container. Remove the container. So let's view it. Save changes. Let's go back. Good. Let's view the width now. At 900. It's 900. Good. You can see it has started stacking. You can see stack already. It has stacked already. So let's put padding. Let's add padding. Let's put 20 rem. So let's do it. See, and see it's working. So let's put padding top to 10 rem, left and bottom 15 rem. Save changes. So let's do it. It's at work now. It's working. So let's go back to at 16. At 600. So I've done with that. Let's go and copy at 600. And it's at 600. What should be is at 600 here. So let's copy the median query at 600. At 600, this is the median query. At 600, the wrapper. 600, the wrapper font size should be 1.5. The wrapper, let's see, it's 1.5 now. So let's go to 600 and see 600 and below. This is 100. So this is 100. 600. Good. So this is at 600. So let's go back and rectify the content. They are 600. So content, I think we should use this at 600 on the content, not the wrapper itself. So let's specify the content. This is the content at 600. So let's do it again. The 600. 600 content. So the content is flex one. So 600. So let's check our content and see. This is the content. The content have visualization and the text. So let's go to content heading. So let's solve that now. Content heading. Save changes. So let's do the heading. You can see it has reduced at 600. So let's reduce the heading to 1.2. Always go with specification. Good. It has reduced. So let's move with the content now. So let's go with, let's remove padding 0. So padding 0 for see what you get. So let's see, where do we have padding here? The wrapper. Okay. So let's select wrapper here. Wrapper. Padding 0. So let's see what we got. Cool. I think it's appropriate this way. Padding here now, the top should be 4 rem and the top should be 7 rem. The left and right should be 7 rem. I think it's more appropriate this way now. I think yours is at work now. I've done it. This, so let's resize and see what we got. And see, it's expensive. So stop at 600. It's expensive. 600. So let's reduce the height from here. The height at 900. Let's remove the padding. Let's remove padding when it's at 900. Let's reduce the padding to change 8 and left and right to 10. And let's say this is 6. Okay. 600. Where did that 600? That is the screen width. 600. Let's change the font size. Font size to 1.5 rem. 1.5 rem. 5 rem. So this is what you get. Remember specificity. Remember specificity. So which means I'm going to still copy this. Let's change the font size. Content. Content. So let's say content. So all the flex. All the flex. Let's wait. This is 600. I'm going to 600. So let's go below 600. When it is below 600, the font size should be 1. Wrapper content, and the other one is change wrapper dot content dot. So let's view it. Content dot what? Content dot wrapper icon. Let's create wrapper icon. Font size. Wow. So now let's view it. So now I remember I say specificity. Remember the specificity. Let's copy this. Copy and paste. Specificity. This is paragraph. So let's do it. You can see. Specificity. So it's at work now. And let's close. You can see. Good. Right click. Inspect it. So let's resize. You can see it's responsive. It's responsive. At 600. And at 600. As it's responsive. So we have done with our index page. The next we are going to do now is our gallery page. So thank you. We have done with our home page. So our home page is now responsive to devices. So when you resize it, let's click device. So you can see devices here. So let's click device. Look at iPhone. You can see it's responsive to iPhone S. Let's click Pro. You can see it. Let's click mini pad. This mini pad. So you can see it's responsive according to device. So this device is too small, so we're not using this device based on our medium query. Our medium query end at 600. So if you type 600, you can see if you type 600 here, let's go back to responsive. Type 600, 600, which is 600 pixel. You can see now responsive. Type 900, 900. You see at 900 is dark. So at 901, it will assume the full page. 901, take the full page. So this is how it will be responsive with devices. So let's close here. Let's inspect it. Let's inspect it at 900. There's one error to fix here. You can see the nav, that is the input device. There's the input device at, let's click the device now. Let's click device here. Let's take 1280 screen. Let's take 1280 screen and see what we get. This 1218 screen. So at 1280 screen, let's choose at 1200. It's at full screen. It's laptop. It's mobile. It's laptop screen. 1027. It's laptop 4K. So let's go back now. So if you choose responsive screen and Samsung Gallery, you can see that's I2P. Look like really bad. This I2 come out. So it's responsive. So let's go back to our gallery and it's our gallery. So let's go back to our gallery page. So let's go to our CSS. So these are main CSS now. Go to the gallery page. This is the gallery page. So let's just copy. Let's copy the navigator. Let's copy the navigator query. Since they have similar attributes, so let's copy the navigator query and put it in the gallery. Let's copy. So now let's go to gallery. This gallery. So we have the gallery. So let's put it here. Let's paste it. So let's go to gallery now. So let's inspect the gallery. Yes, you can see it is responsive now. So the gallery is responsive. You can see the image is really responsive. So now the next thing we are going to do, let's look at the gallery. What do we use in the gallery? Is it flex? Do we use flex or we use grid? Hmm? We use grid. So now what we are going to do now, we're going to use grid at the device as the median query. The median query of the parent. Now we are going to use our grid. So let's copy this. Let's go to the parent. This is the parent. This is the parent here. And this is the parent. So let's get rid of this. So dot parent which is the grid. So let's copy everything here. Let's copy everything here. Then we modify it. Parent paste. So grid template here. I will now say repeat to change it to 2. So we change it to 2. So now we'll now change it to column. So here will be change it to 3, change it to 4. Get rid of this. Change this to 5. I will change this to 6. Get rid of this. And put column. Then we'll now say img 7. I say img 8. Then let's forget about the 9th one. That is not relevant. So let's click here. Let's type 900 here. It's 900 at 900. It's 900. Let's can see this 900 now. To now have 2 image per row. Image per row. The last image, let's get rid of the last image. So let's get rid of the last image. Let's say let's copy the media query. So let's copy the media query and get rid of the last image. Media query. Let's copy it. So let's get rid of the last image. Paste it. So let's get rid of the last image. Let's see. Let's select. Let's say parent dot img 9 display no. Remember specificity. You can see it's no longer the ninth one is no longer there. So let's go back to the parent element here. Here we can now add the median query here. We can now add the left and right. Let's say for when. So let's see. So the padding start working. This is how it ought to be. So now let's add the small image. So at 600, let's display it at 600. At 600, 37.5 rem. So let's still copy everything we have here. Parent, parent, paste it, save changes, and now you can now started having it this way. Occupy one column, cut, copy, paste, paste. I will now started 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So at 600, now have it. Save changes. So let's do the 600. You can see it's at 600. It's at 600. Let's correct the course. At 600, let's say at display grid pattern. So 600, get rid of this. Now repeat one frame. Let's correct something here. Let's add the last one. Then I add the last curly brace. That's where our error come from. So 600 half so expensive. You can see come on you can see it's so expensive now. But the 9 image is all over the place. So we have done with our gallery. So the last thing we are going to do now is the about us page. I've done with the gallery responsive layout. So let's start with the about us layer. So let's go to our code editor. So in our code editor, we're in CSS. So let's start the media query at medium. Now say mass width is 56.25 em, which is 900 pixel. Then we select about us. We now change. Now say display flex. Then now say flex direction. Change it to column and we save changes. So let's view it. So right click and inspect. So let's go to 900 and see what we get. Can see that's change. So let's go back to it. So let's copy it again. Copy. So let's change it to 600 pixel, which is 37.25. When you divide 600 by 16, we give it 37.5 pixel, which is the em. Then we can now change the font size. About and take about dot, let's say about h2 font size and change it to 1.2 gram. So let's see what we got when we get to 600. So let's use the specificity. Let's use specificity. Let's use specificity here. Let's use specificity here. Let's see. Save changes. Let's do it at 600 and see specificity is working. See. So let's reduce the font size now to 1 em. Save changes. Let's do it. Specificity is working. So you can see that is a part of page. So let's view our gallery. This is working. So let's view our home page. It's working. So our home page is working. So we didn't touch the footer. So let's do the footer in general. So let's just change here. Let's go to the footer. Let's go to the footer. Let's go to the footer. We did well integrate the footer. So let's go to index and check the footer. The footer is footer span. Let's use footer container span. So let's scroll down. Let's see footer container span. So let's change our font size from 1 em. Wait, this is index page. This page is 900 blue. The padding is too much here at 900 blue. So let's change the body. Okay, so, okay now that is okay. It's responsive now. So footer is responsive. Let's go to the part. Change the footer. Responsive. Cool. So that is all about the page. So I can see we are good. You have learned about HTML and CSS and media query in this landing page course. So I'll be expecting you in more course. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and see more of CSS and HTML.